What's up, everybody? It's your girl, KT.
And this is Gabby.
And this is Building Our Power. Go ahead and make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Alright, so KT kind of got in some drama with LLC Twitter yesterday. And I just remember waking up in the middle of the night and just like bukus of notifications on Twitter. I was like, what the hell? All I saw was something about some doggone vending machines. I had to tell her to get off Twitter because I was like, girl, if I see one more tweet about a vending machine. So KT is going to talk about this drama she got into with these vending machine scammers, which is crazy to me. So go ahead, KT, you got it.
Okay, so I'm just going to read the tweets and then we will comment on it, okay? So the initial tweet was, some people may think making $300 to $400 a month on vending machines aren't much until you have 15 of them. That's about $4,500 to $6,000 for less than 10 hours of work a week of work. So then I replied, I said, but a singular vending machine is upwards of $3,000. If you're making $300 a month off of them, in a good month, you'll make $3,600 in 1 year. So I asked my question, where is the initial investment of $3,000, the food being restocked, coming from? So, of course, the guy was upset, and so he replies back, and he says, going too hard trying to prove whatever you're trying to prove. I've never paid $3,000 for a vending machine. All of my machines are refurbished, and so they run for about $1,500. And if you're making $300 a month off your machine in a good month, just say that. So he was trying to say that I was poor. So then, of course, I replied, and I said, none of what you're saying makes any sense. If you don't have the initial investment, how are you even going to get a $1,500 machine? Also, for a refurbished machine, vending machine, it's $2,000 or more. You got to have money to make money off of a vending machine. You've got to keep it up by being restocked. You've got to have it serviced. Majority of people don't have $1,000 in savings. How do you expect people to be able to initially buy this or get this investment? I went on to say that if you don't have the initial investment, it goes on credit, which is a debt. You've already started off, in this debt. People under 35 on average already have $60,000 in debt. So again, how is someone going to profit off of this if they do not already have money? Long story short, this guy, he is trying to scam people. That's the truth of the matter. This is a get rich quick scheme. You would think that just this isn't as bad. Like, okay, whatever, KT. Maybe he's just going on and on about a vending machine. It's not that big of a deal. But the problem is that if you go to his original tweet, he is trying to sell consultations for vending machines for $85 for 30 minutes. Plus, on top of that, he's trying to sell the initial very front thing initially for like $127 for his class. So, of course, LLC Twitter was all in our mentions. And I want to read this tweet from this guy, which, again, he's agreeing with the initial tweeter, the original poster, okay? But then, at the end, you're going to be like, what? That doesn't make sense, okay? So he says, agreed, never bought one over $1,500 either. Can pick up machines from other vendors or Facebook Marketplace as low as around $400. So number one, how come you haven't bought one for $400 and it's only been $1,500? Anyway, initial stock does cost, but should perpetuate itself on sales after for most part. Then he goes on to say, flip on eBay or something to save for your first machine. If I don't have money, what makes you think I have an option to flip on freaking eBay? Anyway, that's my thing.
So, pretty much what KT discovered was a scammer, and a kind of like an MLM scammer thing, because I actually have been seeing like all these vending machine promo posts on this black fitness page that I follow. I'm like, girl, this ain't got nothing to do with no fitness. Why are y'all obsessed with these vending machines? And now I know. If you follow some people on YouTube who talk about, the entrepreneurs, they pretty much make a business not out of the service that they're selling to you, but just out of the programs. So they'll say, our business is to help you make money, obviously, with vending machines, books, or whatever. But really, all it's about is getting your email address and selling a very, very expensive book that's going to give you no information you could have found on Google. So pretty much what this guy's doing is he's preying on a certain demographic of people.
Right.
Let me ask you something. Do you think that people in middle class, upper middle class are looking at that tweet and being like, oh, okay, sure. I'm going to listen to this random man on Twitter and make some extra money off of vending machines? No. Who are his clientele? I think it would be people that are in desperate need of money.
Right.
And are looking for a way to potentially help them move out of the poverty working class tax bracket. Now, like you said, in order to actually make money off of this and to not just go into a deficit off of this, you need upfront capital. Are these people going to be able to afford the money for the vending machine, the money for the product, the money for however much it costs to lease the property that you're going to put the vending machine on, and the money to eat the losses of expired food or products or anything? They're not. But this guy doesn't care. All he wants them to do is buy his little program so he can tell them stuff that's easily Googleable, and the rest they're on their own. I'm sure this guy is not following them through the entire vending machine process.
So I do want to add that, okay, so you mentioned loans, right? And so that's the big thing for me in my sense is like, if this person is already in debt, if they are literally born at a deficit, okay, if they're born into a deficit, what makes you think they're going to come out of that? And loans. So a lot of people are like, hey, loans, let's go ahead and get loans. So anyway, the guy, he goes on and he said, I wouldn't even encourage people to borrow money for machines. There's such a low investment that it wouldn't make the most sense. And this girl replied, I guess that's one of the points they were trying to make. Some people, like myself, being the girl, would have to borrow money to get started, which isn't ideal, but whatever. Stay the path and keep grinding. You'll make it / pay it back. It's not that deep and you don't have to borrow much. The guy said, I would honestly just suggest that you take the time to save up $2,000. This girl replies back, I am broke, but that had nothing to do with you. You're right. I was sick of feeling being stuck, so I'm acting on fake.
Oh my God.
So, this is, I just can't. I absolutely can't.
But that's his people.
I would honestly suggest you take the time to save it. Do you not realize, okay, like poor people, I'm just thinking about my own self. $2,000 is 1 month's rent. Or not 1 month's rent, it's for some people, but 1 month's bills, okay? So with that being said, like, if I didn't pay rent one month, I guess I'll be good. I can invest in a vending machine that I still gotta pay for. One vending
machine, you still gotta pay for the food. You still gotta pay for the leasing. You still gotta pay for when you wasted all that food in the vending machine.
And okay, here's another thing.
And then you still gotta pay for the gas to get the groceries and get the. It's a lot more than $2,000. That's the thing.
You brought up a good point when we were talking about this initially about how this guy, he even says it too in some of his tweets that I looked through. He says that you've got to have a place to place your vending machine that's in a high traffic area in order for that to happen. So it's not going to be every single person in every single vending machine, every single person who buys a vending machine, it's not going to be those people not every single one of them is going to be able to make that 300 to 400 a month. It's just not going to happen. It's not.
It's not. And then
That's capitalism.
literally. And then one more thing before we go to the overarching issue. Here's the thing. They saying you can get a vending machine for $300, $400. Those them little cheap bootleg ones that only take coins.
Right.
You're not finna make no money off of that.
No.
The ones that make money are the ones where you can tap your card and put dollars in and do it like that, but that's going to be way more expensive. I promise you, it's more than $4,000 to operate that and to get all the little machinery for the cards and stuff like that. And then I'm sure the card thing takes a percentage off as well. So really, the whole thing about this is, obviously, this is a get-rich-quick scheme. Like I said, he's targeting people in the working class. You saw what that lady said, which was so sad. She said, I'm broke, but I'm operating on faith. Operating on faith in what? Capitalism? Operating on... See, that's what I'm saying. That's what we were talking about in that whole religion thing. Religion and capitalism go hand in hand. This guy, if you go to his page, you will actually find out that his grandpa owns a lot of land and is actually going to gift him land. So land is probably the most precious thing you can own in America.
Literally.
So
it's generational.
This man has money, and he's trying to tell people who literally do not have money that all you have to do is save and you can be like me, which goes back to the video that we have about canceling celebrity culture. This is what capitalists do. Capitalists make it seem like all you got to do is A, B, C,
right.
And that's it. And work hard and grind, and you'll be rich. They never tell you about the money that was gifted to them. Jay-Z, P. Diddy, we talked about in the video. They say all you got to do is grind, work hard, get up at 5 a.m., don't sleep, don't do this. They never tell you they got that $20 million loan by them white people back in the day. And that helped them to be able to work and build off of that money. But you have to have money, not $100, not $200. In order to be successful in America, you need to have at least $100,000, if you ask me. But not this little play money. And if anybody's telling you that you can get rich or move out of an income bracket with a couple $100, they do not mean you well. They're just trying to profit off of you, and they're evil, if you ask me.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the evil part. I wanted to kind of bring up this user. Shout out to Salami Sandwich. They said, LLC Twitter has evolved. This scheme only works if your machines are all strategically placed. They're relatively close together, or you're going to spend a lot of time filling them up with constant foot traffic year-round, and you have to have a lot of capital to start and basically put the machines and the snacks together, because that stuff is not cheap at all. And that is 100% correct. LLC Twitter is trying to evolve. They see, or they have studied, these scamming videos that you can see on YouTube that a lot of people have called out and who have dissected them on YouTube, and who have basically said, this is how this person is scamming. So they said, you know what? Let me take my current business model where I'm not making any money anyway, and let me see how I can take that same scheme and put it on and use it against poor people in the U.S. And my thing is, here's my thing. This is what makes me so mad, is that they are literally, like, I can't get over the fact that they prey off of poor people. Like, these people already don't have money. If you're gonna fucking scam somebody, why don't you go scam Jeff Bezos? You know what I'm saying?
Them folks would not need a damn vending machine.
No,
That's why.
I know, but like, it just makes me so mad, because I think about, like, there are so many different ways that could have went. And I know, I get it, you guys. It's just a vending machine. But the problem is that, like, if you think about this, okay, what he could have done is he could have, like, I don't know. I just think of like other ways that he could have done it where he could still make some money. Like he could have went and got like a Sam's Club gift card and sold it to his family members for half the price year round, and then he would be able to help feed families. And then on top of that, like he's still making money. Like I don't know.
No.
He doesn't care about people. Long story short.
Capitalist Twitter is capitalism. If they not exploiting somebody, they ain't got no use. That's
right.
the whole purpose of life. The whole
You're
purpose
right.
of LLC Twitter. The whole purpose of capitalist Twitter is to find out who can I exploit next. So you see now that people don't want to work for nobody no more. We get that. Don't nobody want to work for you no more. So now I have to sell something to scam now. So I can make everybody seem like they're being their own boss, while I'm profiting off of their lack of knowledge and their desperation to get out of poverty. Yeah. And it reminds me kind of Uber and Lyft and all these
DoorDash.
places that's like be your own boss. Am I really being my own boss if it's not the same thing, but still, they put this language of being your own boss to make people think that there's some type of upward mobility. But you're not your own boss at Uber and Lyft because you're still having to split your money with the corporation. You still have to answer to them. You having to use your car to drive, but you're not getting compensated for the gas. Right. You're not getting compensated for the oil changes. So they're really working in a deficit as well. But that's really show you how capitalism is evolving, because now, now people are like, I don't want to work a 9 to 5 all my life. I don't want to work a 9 to 5 all my life. So now the corporations are like, oh, word? Okay, you can be your own boss. You can, quote unquote, pick your own hours. You're not going to have any benefits. You're not finna see the actual rewards of being your own entrepreneur as far as being able to control the amount of money that's coming in. You're literally an employee, but we're just going to give you the aesthetic of being an entrepreneur. And, I mean, that's kind of what this guy is doing. I think the next step for him, if he was smart, is to buy up a whole bunch of vending machines and sell them to people.
He is actually already doing that.
Oh, well, there you go.
He's already doing it. It's a lending service. Again, you're in a deficit. You don't own that machine, and he's still probably making a percentage off of that machine, as well as you're literally paying him to get that machine. Like, I can't.
Oh, that man's scamming all the way.
It's just too much to think about. I know it's just a vending machine, but it's
not.
Made me so mad.
No, it's not just a vending machine, because he's preying on poor black people, and he's saying that this is a way to get out of poverty. A damn vending machine is not going to get your ass out of poverty. I'm sorry that capitalism is a scam. I'm sorry that if you're born into poverty, you're more than likely going to die into poverty. But guys, we cannot fall for these things that just sound good. That's what we're talking about, like with this whole religion stuff too. Just because something sounds good don't mean it's true. Sometimes life is hard. Sometimes life is terrible. Sometimes life is bad. That's why we have to work to change it. You just sitting here and looking for the next big thing, it's not going to work, because, baby, if it worked, it would have worked for everybody. If it worked, all the majority of folks wouldn't be in no doggone poverty, working class. Like, it don't work. I'm sorry. One more thing before we go. There's a Instagram, I think it's called Preacher Sneakers or Sneak.
Oh, something like that.
Something like that.
Explain what it's about.
So pretty much it's an Instagram page. I don't remember it. Just Google it. Y'all found it out. But it pretty much shows prominent pastors, and it shows the expensive luxury clothing, shoes, jewelry, accessories that they have.
Right.
And, I'm not in that life, so I just be looking at some of these folks, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's like something they probably got from Macy's, and it's like a jacket that's like $13,000.
Jesus.
And they get all these $200 shoes, $300 shoes, $1,000 pair of shoes. Now, people will say, well, if you go on the website, if you go on the Instagram page, some of them are showing StockX listings, and they're like, well, maybe they got them when they first came out. Those are reseller prices. Do you know how hard it is to get shoes when they first came out? These people are buying these $2,000 upselled shoes. And I guess I guess my frame of thinking, I just think that this is a logical way of thinking. If you work, if your job is to serve a group of people, literally serve, that's your job. Your job is to serve a group of Christians, provide them with encouragement, help strengthen their faith, help the needy, help the sick, do counseling and stuff like that. Why are you wearing $2,000 pair of shoes when you live in a community that is predominantly black, predominantly poor? Something's not clicking right there. But people defend it, and what do you say, KT?
I oh God, this is like I feel like every time we have a conversation, every time we start talking about like how things are currently going or whatever, everything always comes back to capitalism. The problem is that these churches, just like we said on the previous episode, these churches are absolutely not churches. They're not a place of worship. It's a business. It's a business, Gabby. That's what it is. And so, how are these preachers being able to afford this? Because they're exploiting people. Why are they exploiting people? Because they are capitalists. Like, at the end of the day, it's the same model. It's the same model every time.
I think when you think about it, this is an even more evil form of exploitation because on one hand, they're exploiting the workers, they're exploiting the praise and worship team, they're exploiting the ushers, they're exploiting especially those people that are on the lower level, like the ushers and the little daycare workers and the little Sunday school teachers, because I assure you, most of them are not getting paid. They're just saying, do it unto service of the Lord. So you got people like that. You know, the praise and worship team, which is bringing the booties in the seats majority of the time, are not getting paid enough. In some places, they're not getting paid at all. So they're exploiting in the traditional capitalist sense. But then they're also exploiting because they can use a religious power, as we said, to shame people who have the audacity to ask to get paid the labor that they're putting in. So, like, especially, like, I know, like, working for a smaller church on the praise and worship team, being a musician, they will try to shame you and say, you shouldn't want to do this for the money. You should want to do this for the glory of God. And it's like, I'm going to rehearsal 2 times a week. That's gas. That's time I have to take after work to learn the music. That's time I have to take for rehearsal. That's time I have to take to prepare before church. And it's like in any other sphere, I would get paid. But that money that would have been going to me, that's going to the pastor. And now with these mega churches, they're starting to say, well, I don't even take tithes and offering no more. I don't take a gift from my church. I make all of my money off of what? Book deals. But, sir, who's paying for your marketing to get on all these channels? Who's paying for your marketing to get plastered on billboards? The church is. And at one point, they were paying your tithes. You're not paying for your own marketing. You're not paying to get on TV. Y'all go on TBN and get people all over the world take their money so you can get marketing you don't have to pay for. It's literally an entire exploitation machine. And I guess what really disheartens me is the people that are supposedly progressive that are like, I don't see no harm in it. If it's their money, it's their money. They're just like celebrities. If that's their money, I don't see no harm. See, that's the problem. We got to get out of this frame point that celebrities have earned all their money. They have not. If a celebrity owned all their money, Beyonce, in order for her to earn all her money, I would say, okay, so Beyonce produced the music herself. She wrote all her music herself. She recorded herself in her own studio. She did her own packaging. She designed her own art. She sold it. She produced her own concerts. She booked all her own tours. She did. Did she do all that? Did she design her costume? No. People worked for her. And in order for her to have that amount of wealth, she had to underpay some people.
Sure did.
And that's what every celebrity has done. And that's what every pastor has done. And that's what every CEO has done. We got to retrain our brain to start thinking like that so that we can stop having such a hold and a love for celebrities and rich people. Okay? So I just want to talk about that because that really upset me because these pastors, they literally have poor people in their congregation. I assure you, they be on my Facebook every day talking about how they love their pastor, but they on food stamps. So let's just think about that. I'll put that link in the description for that Instagram page. But yeah, it's been an eventful week. We hope you have enjoyed this episode. Make sure you go hit us up on our social medias at building our PWR on all social media channels. Hit KT up at KT_does_art. Hit me up at Gabby's Music. Like and subscribe on YouTube. And we're out.